Hello, Dolphins fans! After a rough few weeks where the Dolphins struggled to find their rhythm without Tua Tagovailoa, it looks like Miami's running game is finally stepping up when we need it most. In Sunday's gutsy 15-10 win over the New England Patriots, the Dolphins running backs took matters into their own hands, with Mike McDaniel saying after the game, the RB room was ready to put the team on their backs. Hit that like button now and let's dive into our team's latest updates. Let's go! It wasn't an easy start to the day, though. The Dolphins lost standout rookie Devon Achane to a concussion in the first quarter, a huge blow to an already weak offensive unit. But what followed was a performance Miami fans have been waiting for, a determined effort led by veteran Raheem Mostert and fourth-round rookie Jalen Wright, both of whom put up impressive numbers to keep the Dolphins' offense moving. Mostert, who returned to action after missing the past 3 games with a chest injury, looked his usual self. He carried the ball 19 times for 80 yards, his best total since the end of last season. But the real standout was Wright, who racked up 86 yards on just 13 carries. And that's not counting a huge 33-yard gain that was unfortunately nullified by a penalty. Fullback Alec Ingold, who scored Miami's only touchdown of the day, had high praise for the team's running backs after the game. Jalen Wright definitely stepped up, Ingold said. Raheem Mostert, to come back and be able to play physically, to be able to find those creases. I think both of those guys played really hard, really physical. It was really cool to see them blossom in the fourth quarter like that. Asterisk. By the end of the game, the Dolphins had racked up 193 rushing yards, more than their last 2 games combined and the most they'd had on the ground since Week 5 of the 2023 season. That kind of performance was exactly what Miami needed to put its struggles against the Seahawks and Titans in the rearview mirror and get back on track. Jalen Wright himself was all smiles after the win, giving credit to the big men up front. I just feel like everything came together in the second half, Wright said. Asterisk. I felt like we were getting some good movement from the offensive line. We were getting some good movement, and taking it to the second or third level. It opens things up for the run to make some big runs. Asterisk. That's the kind of momentum Miami will need to build on, especially since Tua won't be back for at least another game as he recovers from his injury. If this rushing attack can keep up this kind of performance, it will go a long way toward holding things together and keeping our playoff hopes alive until Tua is back under center. So, Dolphins fans, what do you think? Was this the breakthrough we've been waiting for? Or do you think we still have a lot to prove? What a roller coaster of a game that was. The Dolphins managed to snap their 3-game losing streak with a gutsy 15-10 win over the Patriots. It wasn't pretty, but as we always say, an ugly win beats a pretty loss any day of the week. That win was also the only one the AFC East managed in Week 5, with both the Jets and Bills losing to their opponents. Then, suddenly, after what seemed like a disastrous start, the Dolphins find themselves just 1 game behind in the division standings as they head into their bye week. Funny how quickly things can change in the NFL, right? One of the big positives from the game was Miami's commitment to the run game. Coach Mike McDaniel, known for his expertise in coordinating run-heavy offenses in his 49ers days, finally leaned on that strength when the Dolphins needed it most. With Tua Tagovailoa still sidelined, many fans have been calling for McDaniel to change things up and rely more on the run game, and it appears he listened. On Sunday, McDaniel went back to his roots, devising a game plan that relied on the talents of Raheem Mostert and rookie Jalen Wright. The Dolphins racked up 193 rushing yards, their most since Week 5 of last season, with Wright leading the way with 86 yards on 13 carries and Mostert contributing 80 yards on 19 attempts. Even fullback Alec Ingold got in on the action, scoring the game's only touchdown. That kind of physical, run-first approach was exactly what the team needed to pick up a win against a division rival and gain some much-needed confidence. But it wasn't all smooth sailing in Foxborough. Miami's defense continues to struggle against the run, which has been a persistent issue since losing defensive tackle Christian Wilkins in the offseason. On Sunday, they gave up an incredible 151 rushing yards to the Patriots, averaging a brutal 7.9 yards per carry. Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson both made huge gains, with Stevenson's 33-yard burst setting up the Patriots' only touchdown of the day. With the Colts and star running back Jonathan Taylor back on the schedule after the bye week, the Dolphins need to shore up this run defense, or it could be another long day on the ground. The front 7 needs to step up if Miami wants to avoid getting gashed again by an opposing run attack. Dolphins fans have been vocal about their frustrations with special teams coordinator Danny Crossman for some time now, and Sunday did nothing to quiet those complaints. The special teams unit tried everything it could to get the Patriots back in the game. Jason Sanders missed a 41-yard field goal that bounced off the upright in the first quarter. Then, late in the first half, he hit a 46-yarder that was called back by a penalty. On the subsequent 51-yard drive, a bad snap by long snapper Blake Ferguson completely botched the kick, and Sanders couldn't even get the ball off the ground. As if that wasn't enough, The Dolphins also had a punt block deep in their own territory. These types of mistakes are unacceptable and could easily have cost Miami the game. There's no doubt that the calls for Crossman's job will only get louder after this performance. While the Dolphins were able to hold on for the win, these special teams mistakes made it much closer than it needed to be. So, Dolphins fans, what do you think? Are you happy with how the team finally established the run? There's a lot to digest from Miami's hard-fought 15-10 win at Gillette Stadium. There were some notable decisions made in terms of who saw action on the field, and those choices tell us a lot about how the coaching staff is managing the players and preparing for what's to come. Let's break it down. First, the inactives. For the fourth time in 5 games, young players like CB Ethan Bonner, OL Andrew Meyer and LB Channing Tindall were on the inactive list. 6th-round rookie Mohamed Kamara joined them, along with veteran RB Jeff Wilson Jr., QB Skylar Thompson and safety Jordan Poyer, who was dealing with a shin injury. QB Tim Boyle was the only active Miami player who didn't see a snap. On the special teams front, 5 players saw action only there, including Siren Neal and Kendall Lamb. This is important because it shows us who the Dolphins are specifically relying on for special teams duties, leaving the more experienced guys to focus on the main game plan. With the Dolphins' running game dominating much of the day, Miami ended up controlling the ball with a total of 78 offensive snaps compared to New England's 60. But let's talk about Odell Beckham Jr.'s highly anticipated debut for the Dolphins. OBJ played just 11 snaps, the fewest of the 5 active wide receivers. Not surprising considering he's out, but something to monitor as the weeks progress. There was a clear disparity in snap counts among the receivers. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle led the way by a wide margin, while rookie Malik Washington was the 3rd most used with just 20 snaps. That increase in tight end and fullback snaps was a direct result of Miami's increased focus on the run game, with Alec Ingold tying his career high with 42 snaps, matching his workload from a big 2022 win against Cleveland. Jonnu Smith led the tight ends with 40 snaps, while Durham Smythe continued to see a reduced role, logging just 27 snaps, a steep decline from last season, when he regularly played over 75% of the offensive snaps. On the defensive side, 3 players each took 60 defensive snaps: LB Jordan Brooks, CB Jalen Ramsey, and safety Marcus May. That consistency is huge, especially with Poyer's continued absence. LB David Long Jr. was back after missing time with a hamstring injury, but split reps with Anthony Walker Jr., each playing 30 snaps. There were some standout performances among the younger guys as well. 1st-round rookie Chop Robinson has played a career-high 40 snaps, which is 11 more than his previous high. This increased workload is a testament to how quickly he's adjusting to the NFL and earning the trust of the coaches. With Jaylon Phillips on IR, Tyus Bowser stepped in and played 33 snaps at outside linebacker, a strong showing for someone who just joined the team last Thursday. It will be interesting to see how much more he integrates into the defense as the season progresses. And let's not forget the D-line, where veteran Calais Campbell continues to be a rock with 34 snaps. He's been a consistent presence, averaging between 29 to 36 snaps in every game except for the Week 2 loss to the Bills. Special teams saw the usual suspects leading the way, with Duke Riley, Siren Neal, and Quentin Bell each playing 21 snaps. Elijah Campbell was close behind with 18, while Tanner Connor and Julian Hill tied for the most special teams snaps among offensive players with 14 each. So Dolphins fans, what do you think of these snap count observations? Do you think the Dolphins need to involve OBJ more? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more exclusive content. Fins up!